You want to watch him there?
He'll be all right. He won't fall off.
I was thinking of the counter.
What have we got?
We haven't got anything. However, I have cardamom pods, sesame seeds, sage, basil, thyme, and alfalfa.
I don't know why you live in a house. You could survive in a forest.
Pity you can't say the same about your wombat.
Oh, poor little fatso. He's never hurt anyone. How long are we going to have, you know who?
Bubbles is still a very sick dog.
Well, can't you drug it or muzzle it or something?
No.
One thing I can't stand is vets who treat their patients like humans. You haven't got a biscuit there by any chance, have you? I knew this bloke who used to feed his dog pate, chicken liver. And there was another crank who petitioned the government to put up toilets for dogs. Separate, male and female. That's ridiculous. I think, you don't have a chocolate one, do you?
No, sorry.
Oh, that's his favourite.
Oh, poor baby.
You must think I'm a fool, Vicky.
It's your pig. I'm only the vet.
Well, it's worth it. If you could think you can save her.
Molly, mastitis isn't terminal. It's just the end of the line as far as being of any value is concerned.
Yes. Well, we decided last night that Doris isn't a product anymore. She's a pet.
There's no doubt about you, Molly. You realise you'll have to treat her in between my visits, don't you?
Well, that's no problem. You tell me what to do and it's as good as done.
It's just a matter of applying fresh poultices every day.
Well, that's okay, because I helped with Marta's horse, remember?
Oh, the General. Yeah, that's right. OK, let's go. I just hope you think it's worth all the expense.
Well, there's no worries about that. Simon said he'd pay for it.
Simon said that?
Yep.
Now listen here, you. One squeak out of you tonight, one little howl, one woof, and you're out in the street. You know what the dogs are like out there, don't you? Very big, and they've got cold noses. Now see how you like that at 2 in the morning. She's going to keep quiet tonight, isn't she?
I hope so.
I thought about a couple of sleeping pills.
Oh, don't they leave you feeling yucky in the morning?
Not for me, for Bubbles.
Simon, Bubbles is entitled to the same treatment as your patients.
I don't bring my patients home with me.
There's no veterinary hospital in Wandon Valley.
Oh, Mrs. Broadhurst could afford one. Why doesn't she take the mutt home with her?
Bubbles is still very sick.
Oh, that's typical, isn't it? People with money pamper the pets, spoil it, overindulge it, ruin it, and then they expect someone else to sit up night after night to nurse it back to health. People with money lose all proportion when it comes to pets. What are you looking at me like that for?
You hypocrite.
Why?
Would you like the bill separately, or would you like one big bill at the end after I've finished treating Doris?
Oh, yeah.
Hungry, huh?
Starving.
Just think, that could have been Doris.
Vicky?
Sorry. In fact, she's much better.
Oh, good.
Another week's treatment, she'll be apples.
Great.
So far, you owe me $60.
$60?
The 85 all up.
Oh, Victoria.
Simon, my fees are extremely reasonable. A medical practitioner would cost twice the price. It beats me why you want to pay Doris's bill in the first place.
Well, they were going to knock her off.
I thought you despised people who are sooky about animals.
My motivations were not in the least emotional.
Oh, really?
At least not as far as Doris is concerned. A pig is a pig.
You know, Simon, these occasional amazing insights almost make it worthwhile knowing you the rest of the time.
Thanks. What? Anyway, the reason I'm footing this particular pig's vet bill is because I care about Molly. I know what a romantic she is about animals.
Oh, I see.
And I didn't want to get into any more trouble for spending a fortune on Doris.
Oh, I see.
Vicky, if I wanted someone to nag at me, I'd get myself a wife.
Are you going to eat that?
I always save the best to last. Crackling's my favourite.
I love it too. A lot of people don't. Probably because it's so piggy. I mean, meat's meat. Red meat, white meat, beef, chicken, lamb. But crackling is and can only be pig. I mean, the skin on the lamb is crispy, but it's nothing like that. It's probably because a pig has a much thicker layer of subcutaneous fat. I mean, if you think of Doris...
That's enough. Take it.
Thanks.
I thought we'd just have a roast, if that's all right with you.
Oh, who cares what we eat?
Mary, that's a bit rude. I like nothing better than a big hunk of roast meat to dig into. Well, almost nothing better. No, seriously, I consider eating a terribly sensual pastime. Don't you?
Well, I never thought of it that way, but yes, I suppose you're right.
Knock, knock.
Come in, Simon.
My car's on the blink again, Vic. Can I Ah, hello.
Simon, this is Garth and Nerida Simpson, new friends. This is Dr. Simon Bowen.
Hi.
How do you do? Hello.
Simon, is your car being fixed?
Yeah, it should be ready tomorrow.
Oh, all right. Well, hang on a minute. That means that if I don't come with you, I can't get home.
Well, it's all right, darling. Off you go. We won't be playing until later tonight anyway.
No, we'll wait for the sergeant. Unless, of course, Simon
No,
would like
Simon doesn't. Mum, are you sure you don't want us to stay?
Of course, darling. After all, I'm not on my own.
Okay, Simon, come on.
Such busy people. Both professional.
Simon's a doctor.
And Vicky's a vet.
They're both so blonde.
A lovely couple.
Oh, no. They're not really a couple. They just share a flat.
Oh, I'd like to share a flat with Simon.
Oh, he's so young.
Oh, Neri likes them all. Young and old, rich and poor, fat and thin.
Oh, really?
Ah, are you going to join us?
Vicky?
No, I'm trying to balance my books. One day I'm going to get a receptionist to do that, like you have.
Shirl hasn't balanced the book since I've been here. And not that it matters. She's indispensable as far as everything else is concerned.
Yeah, poor Mum. She's hopeless with money. I'm beginning to think she's a bit naive where some people are concerned.
Oh, what's Frank done now?
It's not Frank. It's some new friends of theirs come to play bridge.
You weren't there long enough to form an opinion.
They seem nice enough to me. Friendly.
You can say that again.
The trouble with this girl is she doesn't trust anybody. Ah, there you are. Listen, Vicky, can I borrow your... Whew. You need a shower.
Shower, that's right. That's why I came home, Simon.
What is that?
It's horse. It's a long story. You'd never believe it. What do you want to borrow?
Your car. Only for this morning.
Oh, not again.
Look, I've got my rounds. You can pick mine up from the garage to Savo.
Oh, all right. The keys are in it. I warn you, it smells of horse.
You had a horse in your car? Hello? Oh, yes, Martha. Yes, of course I don't mind, Martha. Yes, I know about Terence's allergy, Martha, but Yes, of course I don't mind finishing an examination for him, but... is this patient 2 or 4-legged? No, sorry, just checking. I'm leaving now. Bye, Martha. Hello? Hello? Pregnant? Yes, pregnant. Yeah, you've come to the right place. She's gone 149 days. What? Well, how can you know what time she'll have it? Artificially inseminated? Who is this? Yes, I gather she's just begun labour, but what I can't work out... You think it might be a breach because she's on her back. Listen, stay where you are. Don't move. Now, where are you? What? You put your hand where and what? Oh, no. What? You... Sure, Mr. Dunn. Right number, wrong doctor. Just a minute. It's for you. You've got a pregnant ewe.
Hello? Yes, Mr. Dunn. Yeah, you nearly gave Dr. Bowen a heart attack.
I was meant for greater things.
Us? Living together? In sin? No, I took him in when he was weak and starving. Now I've built him up, I just can't get rid of him.
You can't seem to grasp my system for dishwashing, Victoria. It's not very difficult.
I know it's not. It's just that I prefer mine. You do your dishes, I do mine.
Is that entirely fair? Is it in the rules of communal living?
It is when you use 5 saucepans and I only use the kettle.
You eat my wonderful creations?
Independent referee, I'll get it. Hello, Vicky Dean. Yeah. Right. Can he stand up? Okay, well, keep him calm and put his rug on. Yeah. Don't panic, I'll be there soon. Right, yes, I know. Okay. Bye-bye. Munro's good horse is hurt.
The racehorse? Expensive hobby.
Yeah. Andy Collins didn't sound in too good a state either.
Now, Andy Collins at the stables?
Yeah, I just spoke to him.
Now, hang on. He should be on an IV for at least 24 hours. I better come with you. Who's that? Sue, could you check on Andy Collins for me? Pardon? Yes, I do. He's at the stables. I'm on my way there now. Place is in an uproar. They found him missing 2 hours ago. I hope you washed all that horse stuff out of your car.
Yeah, but they left the smell. I'll need to x-ray the fetlock, make sure there isn't any breakage.
It's called a carpal sprain, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I've wrapped the fetlock in a combined dressing roll soaked in 1 to 2% lukewarm solution of magnesium sulfate.
Is the horse okay?
Yeah, he'll be out of action for at least 6 weeks.
What about Munro?
He wasn't too happy.
I was telling you what to do.
How the hell was I supposed to hear you out there?
I was trying to tell you in here.
Hey, now, steady on, Andy. Come on, mate. Sit down.
Got to find out how to fix my horse.
I'll write it all down for you. Injections, dressings, everything. Now, you need to rest, both of you. What a pair you are.
Can't leave him, though.
Listen, mate, if it'll do any good, I'll stay with him. I've got to say I'm sorry anyway.
Right, Mel's going to stay, so back to bed with you, mate. Or you won't be well enough to help anybody.
I'll let you know the results straight away.
Come on, I'll get you back to the hospital before they send out a posse.
Andy, I needed that ride. It was a big chance for me. I'm really very sorry, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Right, there you go. You'll still feel a little wonky.
Yeah, weak pins. Thanks, Doc. Really appreciate what you've done.
All part of the service. Just take it easy and you'll feel better day by day.
So, where's Timestick?
There he is.
Hi.
Hi.
Take him very slowly. He's not to be overworked.
It's all right, Miss Dean. I know exactly what to do. I've had enough time to sew up about it. How are you, boy? Miss me? Yeah, well, I've missed you. Want to come for a walk? Come on. We've got to get you better. Come on. Who knows? Might be a Melbourne Cup for you one day. That's if I train you right. Hey.
Maybe another Bart Cummings in the making.
Thanks to you.
Oh, you noticed, did you?
Before your head gets too big, why not give me a lift back? Frank dropped me out here early this morning.
Certainly. My car, you'll observe, is clean. Not even a whiff of horse. And it's
Dead.
rubbish. Bit temperamental.
Temperamental, it never goes. Get rid of it.
Vicky, this is not just a car, it's a way of life.
It's a wreck. Put it out to pasture.
You know what the trouble with you is? You have no soul.
I've got more soul than you'll ever have, city boy bun. I've got more common sense as well.
Oh, come on, Vicky. My patients are probably dropping like flies.
So what else is new?
Oh, my keys, please.
Gee, your lifeline's a bit thin.
Yours will come to an abrupt halt in 10 seconds. You can't have lost my keys between here and the car.
That's it, the car. Now I remember. I left them in the car so I'd remember where they were.
I think God had a mental trauma the day he invented woman.
Sexist. Oh, you're out of petrol too.
Kill, fatso!
I hear you're short an ambulance driver in Wandon Valley.
Yes. Is that what you do?
That's what I was trained for.
There's been some talk of taking the load off the local cop now that he's a married man.
Oh, there's a new policeman then?
And no, it's still the same old Sergeant Gilroy.
He married again?
Yes, the mother of a very irritating girl. Do you know Frank, do you?
It's not him I have to see, is it?
I don't think so. Matron Cortez at the hospital could fill you in. Were you after the station officer's job or just the temporary replacement?
Well, I hadn't thought past a temporary post.
Oh, that's a pity.
But I could keep my options open, couldn't I?
Why not? So, how long have you been away?
12 years.
The prodigal is home. It's time to kill the fatted calf.
In Wandon Valley, they kill the fatted prodigal.
I thought you were cooking tonight.
I cooked last night.
Cook my foot? You just reheated the stew that I made the night before. I come home ravenous and there's not a thing in the house.
Ah, sorry, Vicky. Haven't had a moment. It's been crisis, crisis, crisis all day.
Well, the least you can do is pay for my dinner.
Well, I would if I was eating here.
Takeaway chicken, I see.
If you'd care to join us.
No. I'll, boil an egg.
Evening, Fatso. Oh, sorry. Did you want to go outside or is everything all right? Now, listen. Don't tell Auntie Vicky, but Uncle Simon had a very nice time with a very nice young lady this evening.
Auntie Vicky knows.
What? Oh, my God. My heart. I think I burst a valve. What are you doing up?
Do you know the full story of Robin Nichols?
Oh, here we go. I'm surprised at you, Vicky. Look, I see people as they are, not as Esme or Bob or some other malicious twit sees them. I make my own judgments.
Good. In that case, you're strong enough to hear the facts.
I suppose you want to badmouth her like the rest of them?
No, I don't. I think she's fine. I always have. But I'm a minority. I want to tell you because you're my friend. And strange as it may seem, I care for you.
Okay, far away.
12 years ago, Robin Nichols was a very sexy 16-year-old. Councillor Clem Whitehead, respectable married man, fell for her, got her pregnant, and shot through with her.
Is that it?
In a nutshell.
Some dirty old man seduces a kid, and she's the one who gets the stones thrown at her.
The town didn't see it that way. As far as they were concerned, she was a conniving young minx who lured the poor man away.
That's outrageous.
There are people who fear youth and spirit and those who go against the status quo. So they gun them down.
You don't think I'm going to let that sort of garbage poison me, do you?
I hope not. I just wanted to point out that public opinion rules round here. And Robin Nichols probably won't stay, whereas I hope you will. It'd be an awful shame if everything you work for collapsed and you ended up back in Sydney with your father patting you on the head saying, "I told you so."
The night is mild, the wine is chilled, and I've reserved a corner table in a little Italian restaurant down the Paris end of Burrigan.
Simon, look, I'm awfully sorry.
I really don't like the way this conversation's developing. What say we have a glass of wine and change the subject?
No, thank you. Dinner's off.
Oh.
Simon, I appreciate what you've been doing. It's made a big difference.
But not big enough.
I can't stay in this town.
Robin, all that happened in another age. Who gives a damn anymore?
Just about everybody. Surprised me, too.
So you're going to run away?
Yes.
I thought you were made of sterner stuff.
So did I.
You wouldn't be fighting them all by yourself. You know that, don't you?
Nothing would wreck your prospects quicker.
Will you stop being so generous? I want you to stay. My motives are completely selfish.
I'm just not strong enough. I'll always feel like an outcast in this town, and I really just want to belong somewhere. Can you understand that? Thank you for everything.
But look, that's no reason to give up a night on the tiles with Wandon Valley's most eligible bachelor doctor. You might even find you like it.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Shouldn't have let it go, mate. Why did you let it go? You Should have exercised more of your fatal charm. Oh, it's you.
Gee, try and contain your excitement. What's going on round here? I just passed Robin in the street and she looks about as happy as you do. Good, Victoria, foot and mouth again. Anything I can do?
Firebomb the club, blow up the telephone exchange, machine gun anyone within 10 miles over the age of 30.
Right, sure.
Sometimes I hate this town. I really hate it.
Robin's leaving, then?
They're a bunch of vicious, small-minded, destructive, gossiping...
Yes, Simon, they are, some of them. You think I was hard on her, don't you?
Yes.
You were right. I'm sorry. Well, can I get you something? A cup of coffee or something?
No thanks.
Well, I might, just go for a drive or see Mum or...
Vicky?
Yeah?
I found this here.
Well, in your present frame of mind, I don't think you should drink alone.
Thanks.
The locals aren't all that bad, you know. They don't mean any harm. Well, everybody gossips sometimes, don't they? Even you, don't you? It's part of being in a small community. Well, there was a bunch of ladies hard at it at the supermarket while I was there on my way home.
Ruining someone else's life.
I didn't hear them properly. Some schoolgirl's got herself pregnant or something. Simon, what's wrong? Oh!
It's only me.
What are you doing home? I didn't see your car.
Car's round the back. I came home to check up on Fatso.
Oh, what's wrong with him?
Oh, I don't know. He was out again all last night, and I was up half the night searching for him, and look at him.
Looks all right to me.
He sleeps all day. He sleeps too much, Vicky. I think he's sick.
He's probably just exhausted.
But I don't know where he's been. Could be snake bite or God knows what else. Oh, now you're here. Would you have a look at him?
Oh, all right.
Wait until he wakes up.
I can't do that. He might sleep all day.
He hates being woken up.
Do you want me to look at him or not?
Yeah, okay. Look at him. He looks so peaceful, doesn't he?
Oh, you're a sook about this wombat. Oh! Bit me, the rotten thing!
Oh, I told you to let him sleep.
Oh,
it's a deep bite. Probably need a tetanus shot and stitches. Come on, let's go.
all right. Don't fuss. I have been bitten before, you know. Oh.
You're a naughty boy, Fatso. Anyway, at least he's awake now.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with him except a rotten disposition.
No, there isn't. He just doesn't like being woken up, that's all.
What happened?
Oh, it's nothing. Fatso bit me. He's being a fusspot.
Fatso doesn't do anything by halves. It's a deep bite. She'll have to have a tetanus shot.
I don't need a tetanus shot. I had one 6 months ago.
A booster.
Simon, I haven't got time. I'm busy. I've got calls to make.
That looks nasty, darling. You'll have to have the booster.
Oh, Mum, not you too.
Now, just relax.
I am relaxed.
Do as Simon says.
A doctor can do anything a vet can do, Vicky. Trust me.
Oh, good grief.
Well, what's the point of being flatmates if I can't help you out?
If we weren't flatmates, I wouldn't have got bitten in the first place, would I?
Ooh, looks pretty awful, doesn't it? But then again, if I'd been an accountant...
Oh, just get on with it.
He'll be as good as new. Mercurochrome, forceps. It won't hurt, I promise. Scissors, thank you, sister. You won't feel a thing. Scalpel. Started out with little spots on the skin. Then they developed into lumps. Now they're turning into blisters.
You poor thing.
Not me. Mr. Gray, the pet shop man. It's a medical mystery, Vicky. Well, most skin diseases are. My old man reckoned it was the best field to go into. Nobody ever calls you up late at night, nobody ever dies, and nobody ever gets better. What are you reading?
Melanie Shields' book. You know, she's not bad. She really gets the feeling of a small town. All its secret passions.
The only clue I've got is that some of his fish are dying.
Oh?
Yeah, I found that by accident. One of my patients, Billy Johnson, told me him and a few of his mates are trying to keep tropical fish, but they keep on pegging out.
And they bought them from Mr. Gray.
Yeah, and he was pretty defensive about there being no illness in his shop.
Simon, have you heard of Daphnia?
The big, hip, blonde girl wears mini skirts and stacks the high shelves in the supermarket.
Daphnia's a water flea. It's a fish food. bought in bags at the pet shop.
Uh-huh.
Well, they sometimes carry a microbacterium called Microbacterium marinum.
Sometimes known to cause a cutaneous tuberculosis. Symptoms are lumps and blisters on the skin.
Commonly known in the trade as fish fancier's fingers. He probably scratched himself on the tank while he was cleaning it. That's all it takes.
That's it. That's it. Eureka, you're incredible, Vicky. I owe you one.
Treatment simple. Rifampicin once a day. 500 milligrams, I think. Hello, Vicky Dean. Yes, Ken. That's a bit sudden, isn't it? Oh, all right. We'll be there in about half an hour. Right. Bye.
Did I hear you say we?
Well, Simon, you said that if ever I needed help, just to tell you, and this is it.
Sure. What is it? Emergency op? I'm ready. Ready, willing and able.
On you, girl. It's almost here.
Almost here. It's stuck. She's not bearing down enough, Vicky.
Come on, girl, you're going to be a mum. You might have to get a rope tight round the legs and haul it out.
No. We'll make it. Come on, girl.
Makes it all worthwhile.
Now I know why you put up with plodding around the countryside in all weathers, savaged by dogs, charged by bulls, being snarled at by a bunch of bigoted old farmers.
Right.
I don't know how he gets out. I mean, he must climb down the drain pipe or something.
Well, there's no stopping young love, Simon. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Shirley, Frank, Bob.
Simon.
What's wrong, Simon? Why the long face?
Oh, he's got family problems.
Oh?
Yeah, Fatso's run off with a woman, hasn't he, Simon?
Surely that's something to be happy about.
Yeah, it would be, except that according to Mr. Gray, the pet shop man, he mightn't come back.
It could happen, Simon. You'll have to prepare yourself.
Come on, we'll buy me a drink. I need it. 2 beers, thanks, Cookie.
A wild animal is a wild animal, Simon. You'll have to get used to the idea.
Yeah, who cares anyway? Who wants a wombat for a pet? Look out, here's trouble.
You. I want to talk to you. I've been waiting out there all night for you. Who the hell do you think you are, eh? I said I've been waiting for you, Marilyn. Marilyn Monroe. Oh. You're Marilyn No-Go, eh?
Please.
You're a teaser, I reckon.
Please.
Son, that's enough.
Oh, my God!
Just come with me.
No!
Hey, you! You stay out of this, cobber.
Go easy on him, Frank. Remember his ribs are bruised.
Oh! Jim!
Oh. I'm all right, I'm okay. Right, you. Up and out. Out!
You okay?
Yeah, fine, Doc. Never better.
Oh, Jim.
Good on you, Frank.
Frank, you're wonderful.
Is Jim all right?
Never better, he says.
Oh, I'd believe it. No, I never thought Frank had it in him. Must be special training.
Something like that.
What did you say to him?
Me? I never said a word.
Simon, breakfast's ready. Simon,
What?
come and have some breakfast.
I'm not hungry.
Suit yourself, you're going to be late for work.
What is the time?
You should know. You've been looking at your watch every 3 seconds. Did you get any sleep?
Is that the time? Where is he? Where is he, Vicky?
Come and have some breakfast.
Look, he's never been gone this long before. Something's happened. I know it has. I can feel it in my bones. It's a premonition.
Simon, you'll have to prepare yourself. Fatso could be gone for good.
You don't think so, do you?
No, but you should prepare yourself for the worst. It might happen.
Fatso. It's all right, mate. I'm coming. Good to see you. Good to see. Vicky! I know how you feel, Fatso. You struggle through the blistering heat of a terrible drought to bring your family to a safe haven.
Simon, terrible drought at all. It just hasn't rained for a few weeks.
And now your loved one has deserted you and taken your little one too.
It's the Wombat way.
Rejected like an old sock, fatso. Who will comfort you in your twilight years? You're superfluous to requirements now, old mate. We men are a dying race. Did you know that a woman invented artificial insemination?
For Pete's sake, Simon, don't fill his poor little mind with sexist rubbish. Oh, what am I saying?
It's a perfectly reasonable deduction, Vicky. I rated A+ as a diagnostician.
But you don't know animals. And you cannot equate animals with humans.
Oh, hence your pig is product lecture to Molly.
To a farmer, that's what a pig should be.
A pig is an animal capable of feeling pain and pleasure.
I'm not denying that. But there's no need to mollycoddle the beasts of the field.
I don't mollycoddle, fatso. I respect him.
And farmers respect their animals. Well, most of them.
Ah, you had to qualify. You're not so sure.
It seems that Merv Cameron is the exception.
Well, how do you mean? Doesn't he look after them? Does he whip them?
Well, it's been pretty dry around here, as you previously noted, and feed's scarce. Merv seems to be feeding them as little as possible.
You can't say that. He might be giving them plenty of feed.
No, he's not. I saw them when I was out there to vaccinate them for black disease. Well, at least I thought I was vaccinating them. Turned out he wanted the vaccine, not the vet.
A case of sour grapes if I ever saw one.
I had to vaccinate them anyway.
Speaking firsthand, I can't blame him for trying to reduce his veterinary costs.
No, don't you start.
How about some champagne?
French?
Yes, of course. I'll watch Cookie's face when I ask for it.
No, you're only sticking up for her because she's a Sheila. She's ripping us off. You seen that new car of hers?
I'm sticking up for her because she's good at the job and she doesn't need any loud mouth like you bad-mouthing her. That's why I'm sticking up for her, Merv.
Well, I'm telling you, and anyone else who cares to listen, that she's a lousy vet, and I know, mate, I know.
Just what do you know, Mr. Cameron? And what gives you the right to spread accusations about me around the town?
I know you're a lousy vet, Miss Prissy, and another dead cow gives me the right. That's 2 of me beasts you've killed, and God knows how many more are going to follow them.
If you're accusing me of killing your cattle, Mr. Cameron, then I want to have a look at them.
There's no way you're going to get within cooey of my property. I sacked you, remember? And you needn't come crawling back to make me change my mind.
And Cameron's mean, Simon. When he'll do anything to save money. I didn't think he'd publicly accuse me of professional incompetence.
Now, don't let him get to you. You know you're good at your job.
Thanks, Simon.
But what could you have done that was wrong?
Well, I don't know. You name it, I probably did it.
Now, don't think like that. That's the wrong attitude. No. You've got no choice. You've just got to go out there and inspect those cows.
Yeah, you said that before. You heard Merv. He won't let me on his land, let alone near his cattle.
Don't ask him.
Trespass?
It's your neck on the chopping block. It's your professional integrity that's been impugned. It's up to you to prove Merv Cameron wrong.
Yeah, you're right. I've sent the vaccine away for testing, but that's not enough. You're absolutely right. Thanks for being on my side.
Us professionals have to stick together.
I've got to somehow get out there and have a look at this cattle.
With the 2 of us, we can do it.
What?
I'll come with you, help you.
Simon, I'm quite capable of doing it on my own, thanks very much. And I don't need someone like you to help me with my job. Can I have some wine?
How are you and Vicky getting along lately?
Huh. Doesn't know when she's well off. You know, she's joined Asia.
Hey?
At this very moment, she's spying on a bunch of Reds.
Reds?
Hereford Reds. So how come you didn't get it sorted out?
Well, if you must know, Merv caught me before I'd finished and he threw me out.
He? Merv Cameron threw you?
Grabbed me and forced me to leave after he'd taken my bag.
Well, so what are you going to do about it? You should have let me come. I knew you needed a man with you.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? That'd really build up the respect of my clients. Take a boy with me every time I've got a problem.
He can't keep the bag. Come on, let's go and get the bag.
Simon, stay where you are. Frank's already gone out there for me.
Well, that's something. To charge him with assault, I hope.
And have it written up in the local rag. Merv Cameron pushes over Vicky Dean. That'd do my business heaps of good. Oh, Frank, you got it. Thank you.
Good on you. Raining again.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you'll have any more trouble with Cameron.
Better check the contents. You never know with Merv Cameron.
Thanks, Frank. That deserves a cup of coffee.
No, thanks, Vicky. I haven't got time. I'm up to my neck in paperwork.
Thanks again. Andy having a cop in the family?
You know, you've still got to do those tests on his cattle. How are you going to get round that?
Mm-hmm. Before he caught me, I took a blood sample. And... it's gone!
Maybe Frank took it.
No, he would have mentioned it. Oh, that Merv, damn him!
Right, Vicky. We both go out there tonight.
We?
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, you right?
Yeah. Oh, Dan.
Oh, be quiet. What's the matter now?
Oh, I just trod another one.
Oh, Simon, what did you expect to find in a cow paddock? Gold nuggets?
Hey, there's some cows.
Yes, Simon, I know. We need a dead cow.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, there was one in here. Oh, look, there it is. Now, listen. This thing is harmful to animals, so it's probably harmful to humans. So you stay here.
Yeah, don't worry.
I'll just cut an ear off, and then we'll shoot through before Cameron finds us.
Yeah, as the vet said to the cow.
If you can't be serious, be quiet.
That's the trouble with today's modern youth. Nobody's got a sense of humour.
If you wake Cameron...
I'm scared in the dark.
Simon, a full moon is hardly dark.
Can I hold your hand?
Shut up.
Well, what is Black's disease? I've never heard of it.
It's not very prevalent in the North Shore, Simon. It's an infectious hepatitis. Sheep and cattle are susceptible to it. Merv Cameron wanted me to vaccinate his cattle because they're on irrigated pasture. And some experts believe that the liver fluke or some other parasite helps bring on an attack.
Well, what's so bad about the inoculation? Is it a living culture?
No, it's detoxified. We'll know about the vaccine soon anyway. In the meantime, I want to do a smear test.
Have you got some idea what you're looking for?
Could be a few things.
All nasty.
Uh-huh. Oh. At least I know why Merv Cameron has been so uncooperative lately. This isn't his cow.
How can you tell?
Earmark's not his.
So?
So, Merv Cameron has been indulging in what is commonly known as cattle duffing.
Oh, he could have bought it.
That's true. We'll be able to find that out. But a guilty conscience might easily explain Merv's behaviour, don't you reckon?
I tried to ring you.
The phone's out. Probably all that rain.
You going out to Cameron's farm?
Yeah.
Good. I'll come with you then. I'm worried about Mrs. Cameron. She's bedridden. I'm just getting her over mild pneumonia.
Right, take a seat. The inspector's due any minute.
Any unusual precautions?
Yep. Don't touch any of the dead cattle without gloves on. The inspector will burn them where they're lying. You never open them up.
And then what? Do you inoculate the rest?
Put the place into quarantine.
Well, what caused the anthrax? The stolen cattle?
No, none of them brought it in.
Well, how do you know?
They disappeared 6 months ago. If it had been them, we would have heard of more outbreaks.
Well, where did it come from then?
Spore in the ground or in the mud round a waterhole? Some anthrax strains lie dormant in the soil for up to 50 years. But it's more likely that it's been introduced, and very recently.
New cattle from somewhere else?
Could be. Could be in the feed.
Come on, let's get going.
What about the government guy?
Oh, right. Does he know his way out to Cameron's?
I gave him directions, but he said he'd meet us here. He should be here in a minute.
Your phone's out, remember? He's probably out there already. Come on, let's get going.
Oh, all right. Simon, you know what stopped me spotting the anthrax in the first cow? The animal should hemorrhage, and I didn't see it. The rain must have washed it away.
Yeah, but Cameron must have seen it, though.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand.
Well, he's obviously covering up because of the duffing.
Cameron's a farmer, though, Simon. He knows what anthrax means. It's just about the worst thing that could happen. He must know something's wrong with his cattle. Oh, come on, let's go. Mr. Cameron.
Where do you think you're going?
Hey, now, come on, Cameron.
Nobody comes in here. None of you. Nobody's coming in.
Mr. Cameron, I'm Dr. Bowen. I would really like to come in and see you.
I know who you are now. Rack off.
Mr. Cameron, there is anthrax on this property.
Oh, anthrax.
Your wife is my patient. She's already very sick. Now, if you don't care about the danger you're in, at least
I'm not in any danger.
I just can't believe that you won't admit it. You're a farmer. You know how dangerous it is. You know what it'll do to your herd, and you know what it'll do to Wandon Valley.
Nobody comes on this property without a warrant.
The government inspector's coming.
And he doesn't need a warrant. He can inspect the livestock and properties whenever he wants to.
Yeah, well, you're not him, so get!
He would have used that.
Oh, don't be silly, Simon. He's always waving it in the air. It probably wasn't even loaded.
He's threatened you before, hasn't he?
Come on, Simon.
Why didn't you report it?
Simon, I don't like Cameron one little bit, but I'm certainly not going to overreact when he waves a rifle in the air and have him being hurt. Now, come on, let's see what's happened to this government inspector.
Right, the government inspector's car's broken down. I'm to handle it.
Well, why don't we go straight back out to Cameron's tonight?
Oh, no, it'll be after midnight by the time we got there. There's no point in blundering around in the dark. We'll go out at first light tomorrow.
You still worried about Mrs. Cameron?
Not only Mrs. Cameron.
Merv?
Yes, he's obviously feverish. It could be related to anything, of course, but accelerating fever is one of the symptoms of anthrax.
What's the treatment?
Same as for animals. Wide-spectrum antibiotics, massive doses.
Which we have to get from the inspector anyway. A couple of hours won't make much difference.
I don't know.
Look, Cheryl, don't wait up for me. I've got a lot of paperwork to do.
Frank, can you drop me off at Terence's?
Yeah, sure.
You're going to call in on Terence?
Yes.
What, now?
Yeah, he wants to be kept in the picture. His phone's still out of order.
Yeah, but don't call in on him tonight.
Well, why not? He won't be in bed yet.
You coming or not, Simon?
Do you know something we don't know, Cheryl?
Look, I'll fill him in the morning, and you'll probably be back before the clinic opens anyway.
What's Terence been up to, then?
Terence? No idea. No idea at all.
What do you want? Get out!
G'day, Merv. We've come to have a look at your cattle.
I told you yesterday.
Mr. Cameron, I don't think you realise how sick you are.
Come on, Merv.
Yeah. Now you get out, or I'll blow your head off. Go on, get.
All right, Merv, all right.
Go on, get off.
Move back.
Go on, keep moving.
Okay, Merv, okay. Don't worry about anything. We're moving.
What's behind the bandage, Mr. Cameron?
It's a boil.
You want me to tell you what it is?
Go on, get out, it's a boil.
Oh, come on, you know it's not a boil.
It's a boil.
There's little blisters round the outside.
You know you have anthrax.
No,
Oh,
nothing.
Merv, you're quite ill. Come on.
Only buy the clothing, Frank. Vicky, go and check on Mrs. Cameron and get my bag from the car.
Right.
Car 1 to base. You there, matron?
Yes, Sergeant Gilroy?
Yes. I'd like an ambulance straight away to the Cameron property. The turn-off is signposted halfway to Muirfield.
Cause of death, advanced septicemia resulting from infection by Bacillus anthracis.
Even reached the meninges of the brain.
So we'll have to send an autopsy report to the Health Commissioner as well as to the coroner.
Yep.
The instruments are in the sterilizer, all the linens in a labelled bag to be destroyed. I've told the nurse.
We found the source, Terence. Bacteria in some cattle cake, imported. Apparently Merv bought it from a travelling rep.
So the anthrax is contained?
Yeah.
Anybody else buy any of the feed?
Well, they're checking it out, but at the moment it seems like it's a one-off load. Still, we've got problems. We found half a carcass of contaminated meat in the freezer.
Half a carcass?
Mrs. Cameron knows Merv sold some meat, but she doesn't know to whom.
Can you get anthrax from eating infected meat?
There's never been a case in Australia.
It could be dangerous to the person preparing it.
But I think eating it could still make you very sick.
Oh, hi. I was just going to ring you. There's a telegram for you.
Oh.
I thought it might be important, so I thought I'd ring you.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
It's from my father. A colleague of his is taking over this area on the ENT specialist circuit.
So?
Dad wants me to put him up.
My colleague, Dr. Lee Trevor, taking over ENT circuit, arriving Tuesday, 29th a.m. Suggested occupy your spare room instead of hotel. Please show every hospitality. What spare room?
Well, I wrote and told him about the flat.
You have told him I'm staying here.
Well, actually...
Oh, Simon...
Well, you know how straight-laced he is. I thought he might overreact to the idea of me sharing a flat with a girl permanently.
So you just avoided the whole issue?
Well, I was waiting for the right moment to tell him.
Well, this is it. Please ring him.
Tuesday the 29th. That's tomorrow morning. It's all a bit sudden.
Simon, you're a big boy now. It's about time you realised you can't always do what your father wants.
But you don't understand. He can be very difficult.
I found him completely reasonable and amenable. Now, please ring him.
Look, I'd really rather not make an issue of this, Vicky. Not just now. It'll only be for a couple of days. Would you mind very much if we just put him up?
I don't believe this. Surely you can ring him and explain the situation.
Please, I don't want to spring it on him. Not just now. I'd really appreciate it if we could just put his friend up.
Oh, all right, if it means that much to you. But how and where?
Oh, yes. I'll work something out.
Oh, you can't put it there. It looks dreadful.
It'll only be there at night. In the morning, I'll fold it up.
You can hardly get in and out of the room.
Okay. How about moving in with me for a couple of nights and we let him have your room?
Your father would love that.
My father wouldn't know.
I've got a better idea. In fact, it's the only solution as far as I can see. We put this in your room and you give him your bed for a couple of nights.
Not only do I give up my bed, but also I've got to share a room.
You brought it on yourself.
Yeah, what about Fatso? He doesn't like sleeping with strangers.
Fatso can sleep outside.
I still can't help thinking.
I know what you're thinking, and the answer's still no. Hi. You arrived yet?
It sure has. In the bathroom, freshening up.
Oh, Simon, I thought we'd agreed that you'd have this in your room. Surely you can share a room for a few days.
It might be a bit of a problem.
Why?
He's a she. Dr. Lee Trevor is a female person.
A lady doctor?
Apparently she was a junior resident of the hospital where Dad was an honorary.
A young lady doctor? What's she like?
Very no-nonsense, severe, efficient, straight down the line, professional, a career lady.
Not your style at all.
Might appeal to a young Nazi.
Well, I suppose if our house guest is a lady, there's no alternative. We'll have to have you out here, but it's going to be very crowded. Hi, I'm Vicky Dean. You must be Dr. Trevor.
Lee, please.
I'm sure Simon will get round to introducing us eventually.
Sorry, this is my flatmate, Vicky Dean.
We've just met.
It's very good of you to let me share your flat like this. Simon's father told terrifying tales at the hotel.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
I almost didn't recognize you. Without your glasses.
It's good to relax away from the hospital. You'll excuse me now, will you? I'll just get dressed.
Vicky, maybe you're right. This room is definitely too crowded. Perhaps I should move back into my own room after all.
Simon, you've made your bed, mate. Now sleep in it.
Hello, darling. I didn't expect to see you this morning. Is anything wrong?
No, I was making a house call up the road and I thought I'd drop by.
Oh, how are things working out in the flat?
You mean our house guest?
Must be a bit crowded. Where's everyone sleeping?
Good question. Simon went to a lot of trouble to set up the spare bed in the living room, and all I know is that Fatso landed on the end of my bed at 2:30 this morning.
Oh.
Morning, everyone.
You're looking very pleased with yourself, Doctor?
And why not? It's a beautiful day. I love my work. Life is beautiful.
Yes, well, old Mrs. O'Reilly's booked in for 10 o'clock and she's complaining louder than usual. That should wipe the smile off your face.
Not at all. Send her in as soon as she arrives. I guarantee to cheer her up.
Oh. He certainly got out of bed on the right side this morning.
Point is, whose?
It's still the same old story. I fight for love and glory. Step inside, Blue Eyes. Welcome to the sleaziest gin joint south of Marseille. Oh, God, hello.
Hi, kids. Have a nice time.
Oh, the food was terrible, but Simon made up for it.
You mean he paid?
He was very amusing.
Yes, he is a funny little fellow, isn't he?
You didn't have to wait up for me, Vicky. Or you, Shirley. I am over 21. What are you doing here at this time of night, Shirley?
You'll hear all about it in the morning, Simon.
Oh, what happened? Frank, Terence?
No. Tom Hartley's dead.
Oh, no. Well, how did it happen?
He was drunk. It was domestic.
She hit him a bit hard.
Is that Jimmy Hartley's parents? The boy I operated on?
Yes, he's all right.
Apparently he's been hitting her for years without anyone knowing.
Well, why on earth did she stay with him so long?
What?
I've seen it so often. Some women are just drawn to men who abuse them. I have a patient who's had her nose broken 3 times, and she still goes back to the man. They're compulsive victims.
That hardly applies to Betty Hartley.
How about a cup of coffee?
Well, she could have just walked out.
Oh, yes, and gone where?
Wine?
Well, I don't know the facts of this specific...
Exactly. Betty Hartley has no qualifications, no independent money, and no experience of life outside the valley, and she probably loved the good side of Tom Hartley, so she stuck with it. She's not some pampered, middle-class neurotic with a fancy victim complex. She's a battler, a coper, a woman with a lot of guts.
I'm sorry. I stand corrected. I'll say good night.
Champagne?
Yes, thank you, darling.
Well, I think you're being very hostile.
I was just expressing an opinion as she was expressing her opinion.
But she is our guest.
Your guest?
And what about my father? Lee is a colleague of his. She'll go right back to town and tell him how I'm shacked up with some vehement, ill-mannered, commie scrubber who also happens to be a vet.
What's wrong with vets?
Dad says they're doctors who couldn't be trusted to practice on people.
Want to see me do a lobotomy?
Morning, Simon. Morning, Jackie.
Vicky?
Hi, Lee. Some coffee?
No, thanks. Got to be on the road.
Oh, what a shame.
Yes, isn't it?
Well, I've had a lot of fun too. So, where's your next port of call?
Oh, Hillside Falls, Wanstead, Jackson's Bend, Burrigan, and on.
Must be lovely to travel.
I should be back in a couple of months.
Oh, great. Well, you must come and we'll get together then.
I'd like to do an audiometer test on that Hartley boy on my next visit, if they're still here.
I dare say they will be. You don't get jailed for self-defense.
It has been known. I recall the case of...
What's up?
A wombat!
Golly, so it is.
He tried to bite me.
Fatso, never.
How are you, little mate? Have you had your brekkie yet? Lee, I'd like you to meet my closest friend and companion, Fatso. Say hello, Fatso. Hello, Lee.
You have it in the house?
Yeah, he can come and go as he pleases.
You know they're riddled with fleas.
What?
And lice.
What?
They're worse than hedgehogs. How can you touch it?
It? Fleas? Fatso wouldn't know a flea if he fell over one. I'd eat my food off his back.
As a doctor, you should know how dangerous it is to keep verminous wildlife in the house.
Verminous? Wild? This is a noble, proud creature who has done mankind a favour by deigning to mix with him. I am deeply honoured to be numbered amongst Fatso's friends.
You're so funny, Simon.
I'm perfectly serious.
Yes, I'm sure you are. I'll see you next time, then. Bye-bye, Pet. I'll see you.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh.
Would you and King of the Beast like some toast? Pet?